all glory is fleeting.
So?
Beware the Ides of March.
No.
March 1st just all snuck right up on me. Reminds me of a song lyric. Said, sure you march a lot, but do you go the distance? Whoa. Will you march on, or are you just a beginnisher? And it's time for another unbuckled bumpy ride with your guide, the stark raving LEAN-atic himself. I'm Jim. Let's jump right in again. Welcome to my podcast based on my brand new book, available on Amazon, Live Life Lean, L-E-A-N. It's a year-long guide to gratitude and our daily grind. The book that combines some timeless wisdom from a whole lot of the world's wiser people with the reflections, reactions, and wisecracks of the guide's author, me. And it guides you, the reader, through the simplest system for a happy, healthy, authentic, and genuinely grateful everyday experience. I urge you to get the book. Of course I do. I wrote it. It's either at Amazon or at my website, ampurage.com. A-M-M-P-U-R-A-G-E. But even without it, let's make next week better than last, our next year better than the past, and get started now with today's episode of... I gotta say, if you make it through a Midwestern winter, like all the way into March, you're going the distance. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. I'm one of you. And my beloved Texans, having lived there before, and I might like to again, bless y'all in the Lone Star State for surviving Mother Nature's nasty surprise this last winter. Man, viruses and vaccines, cold fronts and quarantines. I'd imagine it's been a tough first couple of months for many. Hard to do just the day-to-day stuff, much less the tough stuff of seeing New Year's resolutions through and revolutionary changes through, beyond the baseline, taking them from what we want, next level, to what we won't let ourselves live without. But January, well, that month is for beginners. So many folks begin something new in January. But February is for finishers. Problem is, being finished with something can have two meanings. Meaning, I'm done with that. Or, I am so done with that. Like, fed up and just through. Not finished up and made it through. So, all right, January is for beginners and February is for finishers. Are you a beginnisher or a real finisher? Starting something is never what makes us or breaks us. But quitting too soon does. The new year doesn't really mean a new you automatically, unless you really mean to follow through and march the distance. But then there's that February. February is that tipping point. Do I have a full head of steam or just a head full of dreams? So, which is it? God, have I had these conversations in the past with my clients and myself countless times? I don't dare have this conversation with my wife. I am not a smart man, but I ain't that dumb. All right, back to it. February makes the difference. But what difference did it make for you? Was it the difference between who you were and what you will or will not live without? February is when the new is not so new and your dream can begin to dim. The difference between January and February can be the difference between beginning and winning if you just keep marching. And that's where we find ourselves now, marching. But why does trusting that the growth of real change, trusting that it will come, why does it take, or at least seem to take, so long? Reminds me of a story. One man one day decided to just quit trying. Just quit. He felt like he'd been trying too long and too hard for no reward. He quit his job. He quit his relationship. He even quit his spiritual walk and practices. And he contemplated quitting life. So He heads deep into the wilderness to have one last talk with the universal powers that be. God, he said, can you give me one good reason not to quit? God's answer surprised him. Look around, God said. Do you see the fern and the bamboo? Yes, the man said. Yes, I do. God continued. When I planted the fern and the bamboo seeds on the very same day, I took very good care of them. I gave them light. I gave them water. The fern quickly grew from the earth. It grew brilliant and green for all to see. Yet nothing came up from the bamboo seed. But I did not quit on the bamboo. In the second year, the fern grew more vibrant, more plentiful, and again, still nothing came up from that bamboo seed. But I did not quit on the bamboo. In year 3, there was still nothing evident from the bamboo seed. But I would not quit. The same in year 4. Then, in the 5th year, a tiny sprout emerged from the earth. Compared to that fern, which had grown itself and shown itself for half a decade now, that bamboo was seemingly small and insignificant. But just 6 months later, after it broke through, the bamboo rose to nearly 100 feet tall. Do you know what it had been doing those first 5 years? Growing its roots. Those roots are what made it strong and gave it what it needed to survive. When it needed to break through, it would grow so far, so fast, once it was grounded enough to be ready and able to handle what the sun and I had in store for it. I would not give any of my creations a challenge it could not handle, God said. The man stood silenced. Did you know that all this time you have been struggling? You actually have been growing roots, God said. I created the bamboo and I created you, and I would not quit on the bamboo, and I will never quit on you. Don't compare yourself to others, God said. The bamboo had a different purpose than the fern, yet both make the forest beautiful. Your time will come, said God. You will rise high. How high should I rise? The man asked excitedly. How high will the bamboo rise? God asked in return. As high as it can, I suppose, the man replied. Yes, God said. Now, give your all and give glory by rising as high as you can. The man walked back out of the wilderness. Never regret a day in your life. God gives us good days that give us happiness. But bad days happen and they give us experiences, and both are essential to life. We've all got to keep doing our duty and leave the rest to Him. Be dedicated. Be consistent in our work. Not perfect by man's standards, but not perfect by man's standards can still be as perfectly planned by God's. Give our best. Never give up. Invest in faith. Always remember, we all have different purposes in life, and we must strive to achieve that, bamboo or fern. Let's leave behind comparing ourselves with others. Let's be our own benchmark and constantly improve ourselves, focusing on our improvement. Better this week than last, better next year than the past, for our goal and for our purpose. All year long, beyond just the winters where we're in discontent. Rise. Rise to your top, my bamboo brothers. And now, more words of wisdom from the Live Life Lean Guide itself to wow your socks off. Entry number 29. Impossible is a word to be found only in the Dictionary of Fools. Napoleon Bonaparte. And the guide's point of view on this? Impossible? Yeah, found it. There it is. In the Dictionary of Fools, Bonaparte. It's exactly halfway between the words battle and Waterloo. Using the Live Life Lean guided system. What do you think about this? What have you learned recently that was new? What have you earned, or you're trying to earn, that's not just handed to you? Where have you added to the world that wasn't just about you? Now be grateful for all of this. Reflect on it, respect it, and navigate somewhere next. Thank you for listening. I hope you're enjoying your copy of the Live Life Lean, LEAN guide. Enjoying it almost as much as I did creating it. And if you don't have a copy yet, go on over to ampurage.com or Amazon and get started today experiencing the amazing power of knowing every day is literally yours to be grateful about, and you need never feel unfulfilled again. I'm Jim Hall, and until next time, good health, God bless, and now go get a little dirty learning something new, earning what's not given to you, adding to this crazy world that we share, and navigating your way to something new and next.